Welcome to a little, this is not the regular episode.
No.
And if you have a sharp eye, you'll notice we're on the other couch.
Wow.
It feels good.
It feels good.
This is a regular episode of Viggo Venn, but we had to do this. We have a special announcement.
Yes.
But first I want to share a story.
Okay.
Just because it's more timely. First, watch Ren Fair on HBO.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Showbiz, Succession. It's about a Renaissance fair, and we had a Renaissance guest.
Yeah.
And it's about like this old man, 81, and he runs this. It's like a kingdom. They have a town with the mayor, and it's like a Disneyland, but like smaller, but very powerful. And it's about like who's going to succeed him.
Yeah.
He's planning to euthanize himself when he's 90 in Sweden.
Yes.
And it's an old man who talks to his weird angel statues in the morning, but is a genius in certain respects, but also has an assistant who is exclusively in charge of running like 15 dating apps.
Yes.
Including a sugar daddy site.
And he has 9 years left.
And he's decided.
Yeah.
I mean, he could have
die
3
in a
days
minute.
left.
Yeah.
He's old. He looks worn. But it's very funny.
He looks older than 81. He doesn't look like a good 81.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And they don't show, 81-year-old normally, you're like that's
Well, no, but there's some 81-year-olds where you're like, where you're like,
one
oh,
of his
wow.
eyes is
Why
done.
the eye's not helping things.
You have a lazy eye, right?
It's not like his. That first shot
Not
of
yet.
him,
I
was
mean,
like,
wait
oh
till you're
my
81.
God, I am out on.
That cameraman was pretty shitty. He's like, look at the shot I got. He looks like real
Wait,
shit here.
but here's the thing. It's not all nonfiction.
That's okay. So how much is not? Because it was so
I read a
beautifully
thing
shot.
today.
I was like, what is this?
I know. And like some parts you're like, oh, this seems nonfiction. And then there were certain parts I was like, oh, this is staged for sure. It's like a weird hybrid of fiction, nonfiction, docudrama.
I don't understand what that means,
But
though.
I think it's more scripted than we think. But it's based on real people. I think the real people are playing themselves. It's like a very weird.
But when I thought that, I'm like, well, are they the best actors in the world? Because they don't have a hint of fakeness.
I know.
to
No,
them.
I know.
Ooh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So it's very good. I just like watching him dating and talking about women because it reminds me of my father.
Yeah.
Who is, I guess, 11 years away from that. And it's just very like, he's on sugar daddy sites where you list your net worth,
Yeah.
which he listed on, if you
100
caught it,
million.
100 million, over $100 million.
It seems like it was exaggerated.
For sure. But I'm sure my dad does that too.
But I think net
do you
worth
remember
is
what
weird.
do you remember what he had the assistant message where he was taking them?
Nowhere.
He asked a woman out via his assistant to go to Olive Garden together.
Oh yeah.
And said $400. Like I don't want to waste your time, $400.
Yeah.
But he wants a companion, and I guess that's sweet, but he's trying to get it the wrong way.
But he gets boners he gets testosterone and he takes Viagra.
He has
so
an-
he can jerk off every day, right? Or get a boner every day.
Boner every day. I don't think he said jerk off every day.
He definitely wanted a boner every day, he said.
There's an incredible scene with one of his many, many assistants where he's talking to the camera like, the way I want to go, just make a woman making love to me and just screwing me right until I croak.
Yeah.
And then and I said erection every day, and then his assistant's like, great.
Because she's heard it so many times. She's like, okay, there happen to be cameras here this time. But
Yeah.
that's
She's
just what he
she's
says.
like, finally,
He says
I told
every
you guys.
morning.
It really, it does, it's again, the part of it being scripted or not, you're like, that's crazy you're putting this on film.
Yeah.
That seems like a pre-Me Too era.
Yeah.
Back to the, as Russell would call them, the good old days. So we have an announcement and we have a regular episode. But before we get to the announcement,
Big announcement.
one thing I wanted to say, we talked, I forget who the guest was, but I got an email like a while ago saying, I was a fan, but you're criticizing Israel, you're blah, blah, blah. And this person, you'll remember the clip if you follow me, where he quoted Sweeney Todd at me, a musical theater kid, and Sweeney Todd, notoriously the demon barber of Fleet Street, and just a poor choice of a quote. It would be like, what's an equivalent for non-musical theater people? It would be like if you said, here's a quote of kindness from the shark in Jaws.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. The quote, ba-bum. So I'm in Barcelona.
Never been before?
Never. I went when I was like 21.
Okay.
But I had a gig the next night. I did a red eye, and I signed up for a food tour just to do one thing there. And I'm with these mostly older people and couples and having a lovely time, a little drunk, but kind of on my own. And we stop, and the tour guide shares some history that I wouldn't remember for all the world. And I hear Gianmarco, and I mean, I'm shocked. I look up, and there's an older man, and he comes over to me, and I would say like not like younger than the guy who owns the Ren Fair, still getting erections every day.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Hey, it's me. I'm the one who," and it kind of came together so fast. Like my brain, he said, "I'm the one who quoted a musical theater or something," and immediately, or he said, "I quoted Sweeney Todd." He said Sweeney Todd,
And then we covered it on the podcast.
because I've literally made a clip, and I don't know if he knows. I don't know what he consumes, like how he consumes my entertainment.
Yeah.
But he goes, "Oh, I'm still a fan." Shakes my hand, and then he goes and he says, "Stop spreading anti-Semitism," and he says it in a tone of like, "Remember to call your parents for their birthday." And he goes, "Stop spreading anti-Semitism," and then I go back to the group, and they've just seen a stranger recognize me, so they're like, "Whoa, you must be more famous than we thought." And what did he say? And I'm like, "Nothing, nothing." And then I got an email. "Hi again, Gianmarco. I just wanted to share a quote from the shark from Jaws. Boo, dude. Just want you to know that it was me who said hello to you on the street last night. Sorry to bother you on your email, but I'm old and I don't do social media." Whew. I had to let you know the amazing coincidence to see you in Barcelona. I'm from my hometown.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God.
You didn't read this yet?
No, I was saying for the pod. I've decided God must have wanted one of two things. Either I should uncancel you, please, and start listening to your... Well, maybe you're listening to this, buddy. Maybe you're listening to this right now.
Oh.
And look.
Wait, read the rest.
Oh, okay. There are enough people railing against Israel these days, so you are not needed there. You need to use your platform to rail against Hamas. Watch the hostage videos, the little girl, the guy with no hand. Sorry, I was getting over the kid with no head, but we'll get to the guy with no hand. Care about them and ask your fans to care about them too, because I really don't think God would bother to send me a message. Be well. Dave Falk. Dave, we agree on that last point. I don't think God.
I think we agree with you. God did not. But, he does bring up a point. You are always singing the praises of Hamas. Right and left.
On Instagram, I can go to the thing that breaks down like the listeners and followers, and it is a higher percentage Hamas than other fans.
Yeah.
So Hamas, if you're listening, that would be. If you're listening, we'll add to the tour that's coming. But you know what? Fine. Listen, there's a lot worse ways to confront someone than to shake your hand, say I'm still a fan.
Yeah.
Stop spreading anti-Semitism.
Yeah. I like that you ran into him.
Yeah.
I like to imagine this is the start of a kind of a rom-com between you and him. Like,
that would be
just running into each other all over the world.
I said it once.
Wait, why was he in Barcelona?
We're an odd couple. He's a Zionist. I'm Hamas. They're the odd couple. So shout out to you if you're listening to the pod again. I'm sure you're about to stop right now.
Let's keep listening.
Keep listening.
Dave.
I'll watch those videos. You go on Twitter for a second.
Yeah.
Watch the videos I've shared.
Yeah.
Okay. We got a great episode coming up.
Yes.
This was almost a little preview of we are doing our first East Coast tour of The Downside.
Woo!
And we're elevating it. It was gonna be oh my God, it was gonna be just us talking, jamming. But Tova had some thoughts.
Yeah.
Tova, your manager.
Yeah.
My girlfriend.
Your girlfriend.
And we're going to be doing some cool segments. We're going to be doing some audience participation.
Yeah.
We've talked about we're going to have slips of paper. Maybe you submit your This Gotta Stop before the show. We're going to do a thing. We're doing a live show tonight in New York, and we got another one in New York if you want to see a test of this show on July 1st at Sesh Comedy Club. We're 3 people, I think. We're going to say who had the worst week?
Mm-hmm.
Who had the worst week? And then we're going to give a prize. Vote. Yep. I think maybe for one of these shows, the prize is going to be the dildo.
Yeah, love it. We're gonna have some music.
We're gonna have some music.
Some music involved.
We're gonna have like a special guest here and there.
Maybe
something
we'll be
more
singing.
local.
I don't know. Maybe
we'll be singing.
Maybe. Who knows?
Because that 500 Patreon, it's not far away, but it's not close. And maybe you'll get to see us. Can I tell you though?
What?
I am nervous. I'm doing this. I'm doing something else where I'm singing, and no one's going for me singing. It is rougher than I thought it would be.
It is. Yeah. If you don't
My
do it for a while.
voice,
Yeah.
Some of those high notes are
Even not
shocking.
doing the show now for a few weeks, I was like, oh, this is hard. It's hard. Luckily, I had an audition for tomorrow that I've been working on, and then I had this. So.
Another musical?
Another musical.
Oh, okay. So here's what we're announcing, and we're gonna put the flyer up. I think you're gonna like the flyer, but we will be now. Listen, I know you're gonna go Tuesday. Well, guess what, buddy?
Come out.
That's the night that we get right now.
Come out on a Tuesday.
And let me just share. Also, by the way, if you'd like me for my stand up, I'm gonna do some stand up at the beginning too.
Yes, he's gonna do stand up.
And God knows if it's going well, I'll just do an hour of stand up and I'll say Russell's here. Good night.
That's it. Yeah. I mean, believe you me, I would be fine with that.
So here's the deal. I know a lot of you don't live on the East Coast. Shockingly, a lot of you live in Rhode Island. And guess what? Boston is close enough. Some of you guys live in Texas. Some of you live in California. If you have friends who are into podcasts, who like comedy, this is where I'm enlisting you to tell them to go. Because if we sell out this tour, it really does mean I was in London. People know the downside. I was in Dublin. So many people in Dublin knew the downside, and I want to bring Russell there.
Yeah,
but I gotta pay
but
for that flight.
We gotta make it make sense on the East Coast first. Logistically, we don't want on our hands a J-Lo situation where we announce this and then like a week before we're like, actually, never mind.
I guess that's why I've always like sympathized, because I saw that and I was like, that
I know
could be me.
People were being. I think. Listen, I'm not going to be a J-Lo stan here. I don't really like J-Lo. I think I understand the impulse to kind of like be happy that someone like that maybe is not.
Yeah,
but it is me. It like that's gotta be an embarrassing thing. On that
I
level.
don't believe that everyone's celebrating it is because they go, well, she's rude to the staff sometimes.
Yes, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
People are celebrating it in a way that's I don't know.
But as someone who did acid and sat through "This Is Me" ... now, I mean, shocking.
Yeah.
I'd rather watch an episode. I'd rather watch her as a guest on the downside.
Yeah.
Than the $20 million.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, honestly, the way her career is going, maybe. Okay. The dates: Tuesday, July 23rd, 2024. Washington, D.C. at the D.C. Comedy Loft. Wednesday, July 24th. It says Medford, Massachusetts. It is Boston. I've been assured I can say it's Boston.
Pretty much Boston.
Boston, Rhode Island, Portland, Maine. You can make it out.
Connecticut.
Thursday, July 25th. Philadelphia at the Underground Arts. And then finally, concluding this tour in New York City. This one's quite a date. Friday, July 26th, City Winery. And we're going to be in New York, so we might have some even more exciting surprises there.
Yeah, we should, yeah.
So again, that's DC, July 23rd, Boston, July 24th, Philadelphia, July 25th, New York, July 26th.
Love it.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
We're gonna be there. We're gonna be selling some shirts, or you could win a shirt if you win the competition.
Yeah.
And you'll be seeing all of us and lots of cool segments. And again, if you live not near there, go if you can. If you can't, tell your friends, because I just saw Bad Friends, that podcast. I forget the comedians' names, Santino and someone else. They just got a cartoon off their podcast.
Yeah. And listen, we had sold out shows in LA. So like, and we've had almost
Twice.
sold out in Houston. That one, that was a small, but so just remember, there's cities we'd love for these to sell out. We need these to sell out. Really,
we need these to sell out, and it is on you.
And I don't want to be hyperbolic, but if they don't sell out, the next video will be us killing ourselves.
And we'll put it on the Patreon.
Put it on the Patreon, and you'll have to pay
$25
to our families to see it.
I also, by the way, just a little other thing. I recorded. I think I upgraded a recording this last weekend. I've just been waiting for someone to give me a special, and I'm like, I need to release some of this shit. And we might have like a really good 15 minutes of the best stand up I got that we'll put on the Patreon early. So
Great.
again, also if you're listening, join the Patreon, and we're gonna be throughout this tour uploading footage. Parts of the show because we don't want to give away the full live show, but to the Patreon. So patreon.com/downside. Enjoy the regular episode now with Viggo Venn. Not yet. This is the downside. This is the downside where originally the theme was negativity, and now it's just whatever is interesting me at the moment. That's why we've had 3 of 4 clowns in the last 4 guests. We heard you. You said enough theater guests, and we moved to clowning. A very small pivot.
Which is theater.
It is theater.
It is.
I agree. Russell?
I agree, of course.
Good. I
You think I'm anti-clown?
well, I
Russell, what the?
Oh my god! I love clowning.
You love clowning.
I mean,
I've never heard you bring it up before until just now.
well, now I went to Stamptown. I loved it.
I brought him to Stamptown. We're the American school where if you go, what's the punchline exactly?
Yeah.
That's Russell, Mr. Punchline guy.
That's not me.
You guys are a sketch also, no?
Yes.
Your sketch team.
Yeah.
But I didn't know if he'd like. I saw Stamptown in Austin, and I dug it so much. And it brought me back to my theater days, and I was like, oh, I could do this on stage. All these things.
Yeah.
And I was so I was nervous that you wouldn't see what I saw.
I feel like I have the most of a think about like Police Lineup, that sketch. That's clowning.
Also,
You know what I mean?
also, I don't feel that there's no one needs to defend the clowning. It's like it's an ancient old thing. Like it's about this, it's Mr. Bean. Like you can watch it, your kids can watch it, your grandma can watch it. It's but sometimes it ends up in this like comedian things as well. But not always. Sometimes it's just a mainstream thing.
I just think it's like stand-up comedy.
I love, by the way, you're a stand-up and you have Caroline's T-shirt.
Well, here's the thing. I wouldn't wear it until it closed. And now that it closed, it felt like a little bit less like, it's the place I work sometimes. But it's dead. It is now a ping pong restaurant.
Yeah, I went there.
You went there?
Yeah.
How could you?
Was I not supposed
Where I
to?
made my headlining debut, you went there?
Poor Russell.
Yeah, there was a cast party for Gutenberg. I went there.
If
Sorry.
I went
I
to
didn't
your-
know I wasn't allowed to.
If your parents were buried somewhere and then they changed it to an escape room, and
Me
I
and
went there
Russell
for my
would
birthday.
go. Let's go. Yeah. We would stay there forever on your parents.
Yeah.
We are joined today by, I have no doubt, what will be our most physical guest, Viggo Venn. I'm so glad we got the
can't
studio.
believe you
It's so
brought-
rare that a guest gets up and comes
I mean,
to our
never.
couch.
I don't think a single time.
It happened for
You thought the couch was small before? Well, here we go.
Wow.
Thank God we got the wires cleaned up before this. If you had done what you did, I don't know, a month ago, the whole room would have collapsed.
Collapsed in on itself.
If you're listening to this, you haven't heard me yet. But I can't believe you brought a physical foreigner on the podcast. That's so dumb.
No,
I tried to get him to stop.
a first Norwegian.
Yeah.
Listen, I'll be honest. We've asked Daniel Simonson.
Hey.
He won't do a podcast.
Do you know him?
He won't do it.
Yes.
They went to the clown school
Oh,
together
right,
with the guy.
Not at the same time, though, but I was hugely inspired by Daniel.
Yeah.
Oh,
I came to Edinburgh Fringe, this festival?
Yeah.
Just the biggest art festival in the world.
Well, we don't really know. We've
I
never
know.
been.
No one in America knows, really.
Russell just knows it from Baby Reindeer. He learned about it for the first time.
I saw him in a 42-seat in Edinburgh. That's what's beautiful about
Really?
it. Yeah. You can find, the play that goes wrong. Have you had that on Broadway?
Yeah, that's on Broadway.
I saw that in Edinburgh in like a 200-seater. And after I bought the script because they sold it, I was like, this is really good. And then 6 years later, it's like Broadway, West End in
I say
London.
my problem with it is that you always hear these romantic stories.
Yeah.
We had the Fringe Festival here. It kind of dissipated. But in the summer, it was pretty big.
Yeah.
And every show I saw, that was it. It didn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
So there's always these
But you are
romantic
here.
stories.
You are here
I'm
already.
here by the skin of my teeth 15 years later.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is it though. Like if you do well at the Fringe, you can come here. You are already in the metropolitan of everything, no?
Yeah.
Like you are in the show on Broadway, no?
I was, not anymore.
Okay, yeah. Sorry.
But you could.
It's a ping
You
pong
could do
now.
the Fringe. If you did that one person show, you could do the Fringe.
That one person show that I haven't invented yet. Yeah.
But you guys are here.
I could do anything that I haven't started or thought of yet. Yeah.
You could make a movie.
I
Go
could
to
be
the
president.
Oscars.
I don't know. I could do.
But I saw Daniel. That was my point. I was a young Norwegian, not funny comedian. And then I saw Daniel Simonson. He won Best Newcomer in Edinburgh Fringe. And I was like, what? A Norwegian in the UK? Is that possible even to be so foreign and
one
do comedy?
newcomer, right? One newcomer that wins that award.
Yeah.
So that's
and
like
it's
that's
like
the big fucking
4,000
deal.
shows.
Oh,
4,000
my
shows every day for a month.
and best newcomer. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Because Natalie won it too, right?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. We've had two
Yeah.
best newcomers.
Two
That's
best newcomers.
But Daniel, he's too underground or what?
now.
Yeah, Daniel
Here?
Simonson. He is killing it here, no?
You'd have to ask him. He's killing it here for sure. Whenever I talk with him, I don't think I'm speaking out of turn. He's a perfectionist
Yeah.
in the way where like he filmed something and then he was like, I can't release it.
Yeah.
And I don't know him well enough to do what I do, which is I'm like, D'Angelo, just fucking release it.
No,
Release it.
he is the true artist. He is a true artist.
Is the truest artist one who just doesn't put out anything?
No, but like he was in Norway, started to be a bit successful. Then he moved to London, started open mic level.
Yeah.
Then he worked himself up. He won Best Newcomer. He got a pilot. He was on a sitcom. And then he just
was on a
moved.
sitcom?
Yeah. And then he had a pilot as well.
Really?
Yes. And then he just left it all and went to New York because like he wants to follow this stand-up dream, you know.
Yeah.
And then he went open mic again, as I understood. And now he's been on all the talk shows and he's a regular at the Cellar, which is all the comics in Norway are like, man, we are so happy. There's
Well, we can sing his praises when he does the fucking show. So let's.
I'm the guy in the UK and he's the guy in America from Norway now. Yeah.
So we went to see. Let me just say real quick. This is the downside.
Is
This
this
a
the
show-
downside?
The downside.
Ah, I thought this was downstairs. Look at this. Little joke. Huh? Look at this. GM's basement. Huh?
You started in
Look at
stand
this.
up.
What is this? Can I come over here?
Yeah. Why not?
God.
It's Rick, I think.
I hope you
Fake
watch
Rick.
this on YouTube.
Yes, watch.
They
We get
do.
more views than listens.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
YouTube.
People are watching. They come to my shows and say, "Did you get your sashimi in the green room today?" I get a lot of, "Did you get your sashimi today?"
Yeah.
It's so weird to have sashimi. Okay.
It's nice to be here in your basement, though. It's really cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Good. Don't.
I did a joke, no?
You did.
Yeah.
Well, I know you started with stand up. Do you remember what your act was when you did stand up?
Yeah, really bad.
What were some of the jokes?
So I had a joke about my name, but
Classic start.
Yeah.
What was your name joke?
My last name is Friend. It actually is Friend. So you need to know that before, I guess. Venn, my last name, Viggo Venn. That means it's the literal translation friend in Norwegian. So I had a joke that, I don't get any. I was studying economics at the time and like, it's not so popular for me, you know. I worked in a zoo, in a bakery zoo in a fairy tale land, which is also very famous in Norway. So it was too much setup here. But anyway, I came and like, it's not so cool for me to come out on the city. I meet this girl, she studied economics, you know, financial studies, financial market. What about you? I'm like, I'm the baker friend, you know, baker friend or something like this. Which sounds funny in Norwegian. Bakemester venn.
Sure.
Oh my God, I bombed when I translated my first stand-up joke. It was bad then as well.
If I was doing stand up in a second language show, every time it didn't get laughed,
Oh
I'd
my
be like,
God.
that kills in Norwegian.
That kills.
That'd be my
It's
save for
rewrite
every
history.
joke.
I did on Britain's Got Talent, the Norwegian joke. Did you see?
Oh, remind me what you do. We did. We watched the whole thing here.
Yeah.
We did.
What was the joke again? Give me the setup and see if I can
the
remember
joke
the
is
punchline.
to karer gikk inn på Njø scene, og så... Have you heard it before? Yeah, that was the joke.
That's very good.
Yeah, and what was nice about that, like I just said something in Norwegian, no, and then the audience they were there like this, and then they laugh because they don't understand, and I'm like, oh, you heard it before, okay. But what was cool is that when I did that joke live in the UK, it was the comedy club where I did stuff in Norway. They were live streaming this illegally.
Sure.
Yeah,
Really?
sure. And they filled up the big room, like 500 people. All the comics are there watching this live. And what I said was 2 people walked into Comedy Cellar, or the name of this club in Norway.
Yeah.
So they were like, "Wah, I name dropped the room in Norway who watched this live, you know?
That's crazy.
So that was really nice because when I was really poor and traveling around with Zach and stuff, I always when I came back to Norway, they let me sleep above the comedy club.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, this place. So it was nice to shout them out on live UK television.
That's the thing. When I look at you folks that kind of work as comics in Europe, the travel of it all and seems so much harder. It's not easy being a road comic in America.
Same size in a way. California to New York.
To a degree, but you have to. If you're going to such different places. If I go to the middle of the country, if you go that same distance in Europe, you're in a whole different culture.
Yeah.
Right.
And like I could just see
Different money.
bombing your ass somewhere, different money, different everything. And it sounds on one hand, it sounds very exciting and thrilling, and you get different cultures. And on the other, it sounds frustrating in that like you have to make it appeal to literally this wider swath than Americans have to do.
Yeah. To be fair, I haven't done much in like Europe. It's mostly like UK, Australia.
Sure.
You know, like English culture. Because it's Australia. They love British humor as well. They watch Taskmaster UK in Australia as well. It translates. And in English-speaking places like, or Amsterdam, they speak a bit. Scandinavia, they speak a bit English. But you guys are blessed. You have the whole country speaks.
I mean, it's lucky.
Yeah.
It's certainly lucky.
Yeah.
I'm going to, we're releasing this a little bit later, but I'm going to be in Monkey Barrel.
I saw.
This
on your website.
Friday or Saturday.
And you are there for 3 days or something?
Going to Barcelona for 2, Edinburgh for 2, Dublin for 2.
Yeah, we're doing the same venue in Dublin. I'm there a week after you.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Liberty Hall in Dublin.
How you sold out?
No, apparently Dublin is slow.
Okay, good.
I've sold out my whole UK tour except Dublin.
Okay.
But they are not part of the UK,
How big is this venue?
400 seats.
400, yeah.
Oh. Have you done Dublin before?
No, first time.
Wow.
This is me like seeing, I did a little Europe run last year, did a little one this year, and then I want to do a bigger one next year. Because I had no idea how it would sell.
Yeah.
It's just YouTube. I didn't know.
But I think it's going to be well, though, because they said like, oh, it's the capital. It's kind of like people are more loose there. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows? I sold out because I did small rooms and then Britain's Got Talent, and now I've done like 1,000 seats around the country. So 400 in Dublin is also one of my like, oh, what's up in Dublin? But they don't like to be part of UK though. They're Ireland, no?
Sure.
Yeah.
Is there an Ireland's Got Talent?
Probably not. There's just drinking. Everyone's got this talent.
Every talent was just like how much you could drink.
We are in a bit Ireland here in New York.
What do you mean?
There's an Irish. Boston is very Irish, no?
Boston is very Irish, but there's a lot of Irish here too.
Are you Irish?
No, I'm Scottish.
Are you really?
Yeah.
So going to your homeland.
Yeah, it was the Mick Daniels brothers that moved over here, and they dropped the Mick and just Daniels.
Oh.
Yeah.
Maybe our podcast is popular there.
Maybe.
Probably not. What was I going to say? Oh, my God. Okay.
Stamptown.
I saw you said the sweetest thing to your wife.
Did I?
It was they brought up the burlesque dancer, and they said that she's one of the top 10 burlesque dancers in the whole world. And then you nudged and said, "Oh, are they bringing you up there?" And I thought, "Oh, what a romantic guy! What a romantic guy!"
That is fantastic. Is she your partner, a burlesque dancer?
She's not.
No.
No.
Yeah, honey,
Not yet. Not yet. You know, I don't know.
Sure.
She has hobbies. She plays saxophone. Maybe next is burlesque.
Usually it starts there.
You know?
This guy Dylan at Stamptown, he taught himself to roller skate this year,
This year? That's his whole thing?
or maybe in December. Yeah.
Oh my God. Wow.
That was scary. I would
Yeah.
never. Now, that guy who put the drill in his penis, that's a fake penis, right?
Oh yeah, the guy who closes the show now.
Yeah.
Yeah. This will be a long time since I've done it. I've done it in Australia.
What do you
and
mean
London
that's a
and
fake
stuff.
penis?
But I
I
thought
asked Tova. She said there's no way he's hard that whole time.
Well,
Fully erect.
Maybe.
I was backstage and
I
I thought
assume
it
that
was
they're-
fake, but it.
Okay. I assume that maybe he took drugs to, took a thing to make it hard the whole time.
And then put a drill in it.
Gianmarco,
That
I
penis
don't
is
know.
not going to last.
We were in a theater show. We weren't close enough to.
After all the fake penises you've seen in the last month.
Well,
you have
they
started
must have
getting a
been
little
good
skeptical?
prosthetics because he was like letting it go and flipping it around, and You know what I mean? Like, I don't
Sure.
know. I don't know if the technology's out there to do that.
Let's just be clear. This is not my act we're talking about.
No,
right?
This is Simon Cowell
no.
said, holy shit, what the fuck? Were people upset that you were on Britain's Got Talent as a Norwegian?
Yeah, online, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
But I was just, you saw Stanton, and this guy closes the act, he drills in his penis, no?
Yeah, he put something.
I don't know
something down.
if I should look or not look at that. It's such a...
I screamed.
But he performs in, the box.
I do know the box.
Yeah.
I did a play with Jessica Fry, our good friend in the box. We did a clown. It was called Clown Bar.
Oh, yeah?
Way back in the day, and we would do it earlier because those shows started at like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
And I've told the story, but I do love telling it.
Oh.
There was a guy.
Yeah.
And his whole thing was that he fists himself
Yeah.
in the ass.
Yeah.
And
just to be clear, the box is like a late night, very VIP exclusive club.
show starts at 3
a.m.
and there's like
Yeah.
a couple acts and then there's dancing for an hour and then you are done at like 5 or 6. And I should be into cocaine if I'm going to do that.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
late. Once I hit 4, I'm like, please let me leave. So, and I just to be careful, this performer, they tried to fist themselves in the ass and they did it once.
Oh my God.
Not quite. So then they, rang their hand out, and then they tried again. Got a little closer. Felt like they got to that second knuckle, but no, not there.
Is this in the green room or on stage?
And then everyone was so excited. They went for that third time, and they didn't get it. And then they said, all right, we're going to call it. And they left.
Every time you tell it, it's amazing because it feels like it's setting up like, oh, I tried. And then
That's what you should do.
And they really were trying. It makes me think they were really trying the whole time. There was no sort of game about like,
I heard a
The
story.
whole time.
There's a musical called Barnum. And someone told me a story of like there's a tightrope thing, and this guy he like fell, and I was just like, oh my god, that's not supposed to happen. Then he did a second time, fell, and third time he did it, they went fucking ape shit. And then when they went back, he was like, please, I only fall on purpose. And then it was all an act, and I thought, how cool is that?
yeah.
That's what I did in British Got Talent. I lost my balloon on purpose, or I don't know, maybe I didn't. But a lot of people are like, oh, was it on purpose or not? But it's nice to fool the audience a bit that you don't know exactly the level, How stupid am I, or like how talented is this tightrope guy, You have to create a bit of a risk, no?
Yeah.
I think stand-ups do that with the topics they talk about. But we have to physically create risk.
But that's what I think. What I loved about the clowning, where it's just like stand-ups were so obsessed, and it's become like commercialized to the point of just exhaustion.
About
that we're
saying,
saying something.
Yeah.
And I think like seeing Natalie or seeing the guy with the drill in his penis, I was like, oh yeah, you can be brave in other ways. In embarrassing yourself in nudity is one form of this thing. And it just reminded me, because stand-ups get so obsessed with I said the thing, and it's usually not even a bold thing at all.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, I felt like struck by too the thing of like you go to a stand-up show and there's an expectation that you have to like laugh. Like there's an expectation of like that's what deems this whole experience successful. And what was so refreshing is that like taking that pressure off, I felt like I was so much more engaged because I was like, some of this may make me laugh and I'm like ready for that. And then some of it may make me like, holy shit. And then some of it, there's long periods of building tension where you're like, you lean in and you're like, and then you get a bigger laugh. So I just felt like the whole thing felt like very freeing, that there was not this expectation that everything has to hit, and it's this rhythm of laugh.
Again,
laugh.
you're talking about Stamptown.
Stamptown, the whole
My
thing.
show, laughter the whole time.
Okay.
This is the downside.
You're listening
Downstairs.
to The Downside
Downstairs.
with Gianmarco Soresi.
This is the downside. This is a place where we can be negative, we can complain. We don't have to pretend that the world's not rapidly coming to a close and America as an empire isn't collapsing before our very eyes more rapidly every second. This
Caroline's
episode-
closed, though.
Caroline's closed.
Caroline's closed.
That's that's
Caroline's
the first
closed
sign.
that was the first sign.
This episode is coming out June 11th, which is a little far from now. So let's make some predictions. Trump is badly beating Kamala Harris in the polls right now. Russell is on SNL, but only as a writer. And there are still tickets available for my Portland show,
Wow,
June
so much
20th
happening
through
in the next
22nd.
20 days.
I got. We'll talk to you in a second. I got an email from. I have a business manager now. Very exciting. But I got an email. It was like this large sum of money from Wicked.com.
From who?
Wicked.com. And I was like, what? I thought the Wicked the musical.
Yeah.
And that's all the email said from this new person I'm working with. And I click on it. Very hardcore pornography site.
Oh my God.
And I go. My mind starts right. You know, it's one of those things where like the cops, if the cops are there, you think you did something illegal. I'm like, dude, I have a porn career that I didn't know about. Yeah. And then recently I had this video where there's a fake penis, prosthetic penis. Yeah. We were gonna try. It was like a promo where you thought you saw my penis in the thing. It was a prosthetic. But what we were gonna try to do is put it on a porn site early and then like leak it on Reddit and be like, oh my God, comedian's penis revealed. You know how hard it is to upload onto porn sites?
Is it?
It's first of all, most of them wanted me to give them my ID.
Oh.
And I think there's something like
there's like a verification because of age now and like things like that. Like, yeah.
And part of me is like, who cares? But then there's something in me that I don't think I've ever signed up, signed up for a porn site in my whole life.
You don't
in my whole life.
Dude, this whole podcast, all you talk about is drilling penis. And there's this story about me getting contacted by the penis company. What is this?
I took a snapshot. I said, I'm going to have that visual. I'll never need porn again.
So what happened?
Well,
you had something. No, they wanted you to do something, and you also wanted.
Well, so I called them immediately because it's just a new business manager, and like they know.
And Wicked.com was giving you money.
Yeah, and like
OnlyFans did that in the UK. They had a bunch of comedians on as well. Is it this?
Yeah. No, it wasn't that. It was just whatever comedy club I like recently performed at.
Yeah,
they used some kind of payment portal that's through. Actually, no. Here's what it was. Their company is called
Russell's face.
Their company. So they said Wicked.com and they linked it. My business person. And I called. I said, I just so you know, I tell you if I did porn, we have to have an open relationship.
Yeah.
I don't do porn.
Yeah.
This company is Wicked Comedy. And when they abbreviated it on the thing, it looked like Wicked Com. So they sent it to me with the link, wicked.com.
My God.
But for a second, I thought maybe someone uploaded photos of me and they linked it to me and I'm getting free. I thought I was getting like a big fat check for being on a porn site. I was so excited.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, congratulations. Your stuff has been doing well.
Yeah. We couldn't upload it. I had like 8 different, I made a whole email. I think the email we made was like standupfucker69@gmail.com.
Oh my God.
And then there was one website I didn't have to give them my ID, but you had to like identify who the performer was. So I was like, do I have to make a whole ID on me for the website?
Yeah.
So then I faked it. I just picked a random Italian and then it didn't get verified. And I'm like, that means someone's watching every new video and verifying who the performer is.
Wow.
And I thought that would be a great job for you, Russell.
Great job for me. Yeah.
Think of how much time you've been wasting. You catalog it on Excel. I know you do that with your.
Give a thumbs up to it. Yeah.
You could verify. Yeah.
That's the guy.
Yeah.
And he is strict also. You can't come here with anything, Can't do like crowdwork porn. You need to be solid stuff.
Can I say something?
Crowdwork porn.
Crowdwork porn. I don't think anyone's ever done that. Like a crowd work where like the chemistry's so electric.
Are they fucking then in front of the crowd? Like it
I think
right
so.
there? Or okay.
I think so.
Could be a long story. They could meet that way.
Tell me this. Have you've never had the thought of like, I have some good porn ideas?
No, I have.
You've never. Oh, you
ideas.
do?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Great ones. Interesting.
No,
What
I
if we
don't have great
pivoted
ones.
into that?
I don't have great ones, but I do think that for me, what's funny and what I would do if I was a porn writer, it would be really long. Lots of like, I would make a whole movie. And then it would basically be like, I've always thought that like those Hallmark movies would be so great if it was just what the Hallmark movie is, just what it is. Like nothing has changed about it. It's 2 hours long of like very sweet, like no one swearing. It's all like that. And then at the end, it's the most aggressive sex, explicit.
What is a Hallmark movie?
Okay. It's like a wholesome, almost like it's like small town girl and
cheap.
Yeah.
It's not in the union.
Yeah.
It's like you got to be a non-union actor to do it. They film it in the course of 10 days.
Some of them are union, but
some of them.
But anyways,
forgive me. I know
yeah.
you're
So
offensive.
But anyways, it would just be a full Hallmark movie, and then the last 10 minutes would be really aggressive porn. Is what I've always thought would be if I was going to make a porn. That's what it would be.
Because they do have movies. They do have movies, but it's like every scene ends
Yes.
in something.
Yeah,
It's too. Yeah, that's the problem. It's too much porn in the porn movies.
Yeah, make it special because it'll be sexier. I think if we're like, when is it going to happen? And we just get sucked into a full movie, and then finally the payoff at the end. You know?
Yeah.
I just love you watching a Hallmark movie, and at the end they kiss. It goes to credits, and you're like, "Come on,
Damn it!
come on,
Damn it! Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
yeah.
Norway is filming pornography legal in Norway?
I don't know. I feel uncomfortable talking about it. Definitely.
Sure.
Really?
I feel myself.
Is it?
I think that's just me though.
I feel like Europe probably is chiller in general with porn.
chiller? Like
Chiller, like I bet everywhere can film it. They don't. It's not the same. Americans.
Porn is from America, no?
Really?
Isn't it? Isn't it like internet exists because or like wasn't it
Porn
military?
is from
and-
the caves in when we were in caves.
True. Yeah. True.
I'm sure. It's
But I
a
mean,
big
like the
export.
industry is some LA.
We definitely have like a
stuff, no?
big like in LA. It's fascinating to watch because it's kind of like it works like Hollywood does, but just like at a frenetic pace.
Yeah.
Like casting. There's no callbacks in porn.
Right,
It's
yeah.
it just moves quickly.
But I've heard that so much of technology and internet was developed because of porn. It's just so much, tick, you know?
Well, that's why when they talk about AI and they're like, well, we can't use this for porn. I'm like, guys, it's exactly what it's gonna be
gaming
used
and
for.
porn is where it's gonna
Gaming and porn.
make it develop. Oh my
No,
god!
clearly those goggles are not doing the thing. Everyone thought that we'd wear those goggles and we'd all just be
yeah, I haven't tried them. The goggles. Have you?
for porn.
No, just in general.
No.
Me neither. I would love to try.
Yeah, I'd
it
love to try 'em.
must not be that good though.
Since people are not like, oh my
Of course.
god, I was in Hawaii and I was, maybe.
I still want to try.
All right.
Send them. Tell someone
Yeah.
to send them to us.
Let's see. What have we gotten so far? Fake CBD chocolates and some drink that we're too scared to have a sip of.
Yeah, okay.
Let's go on to the
Next thing.
$800 Oculus, please.
Send the Oculus to us, please. Thank you.
What do you know about Norway? Tell me everything you know about Norway.
Trolls.
Trolls are there, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm basing everything I have off of
Trolls, you mean the dolls?
No, real trolls. Real trolls.
Yeah,
Gianmarco.
real trolls.
They have real trolls in Norway.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah, mountain troll come and eat blonde women.
That's a Norway thing.
You are lucky your hair is dark because
But
and he would enjoy this one, big one, mom.
I am basing.
You are a bit pizza, no? Italian?
yeah, more
Yeah.
Jewish.
Jewish. Oh, that Jewish is tasty, no?
Sure.
Yeah, for trolls. I think they eat all the human beings. Yeah,
And
that's the story.
but
When we
trolls
grow
are-
up, like trolls are in the forest and they eat you. You know, that's it. Yeah.
Were you ever scared of them as a kid?
Nah.
No.
I know.
But trolls are also the little doll things.
They're not real.
Yeah, those are troll dolls.
Yeah.
Your hair looks like a troll doll.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. I'm basing everything I know of Norway from the ride at Disney World in Epcot.
Yes.
It was Norway ride, and you would get on a boat and you would like drive around and like there were Viking things.
Yeah.
And
The
there
wooden
were
clogs? Is that
trolls.
Norway?
There was kind of like a troll that kept appearing.
Yeah.
Kind of like that was the scary part of the ride.
The wooden shoes, is that Norway?
Yeah.
Okay.
The what? Wedding shoes?
The wooden shoes.
Oh, the wooden shoes. Amsterdam. But
Oh.
my cousin worked at Epcot, and it's so nice to see like the image of your country. It's like, oh yeah, that's the American that's good for clown in a way. It's the stereotype. It's right there.
Yes.
So I put on for British Got Talent, put on some like similar type of pants, some what order you a little bit traditional stuff. It's nice to see the stereotype a little bit.
What is
I wonder if we had the America land in Norway.
Oh God.
It would,
Oh God. It would
I was
be
like, here
so
is the
upsetting.
guns. Yeah,
Here are the
everyone can
guns.
shoot.
Here's the guns. Here's the fat people.
you go with like
So here's Trump.
you have like a joke like bulletproof vest. that
Yeah.
you put on.
And you
yeah.
take a photo. Or what is it though? What I guess a diner maybe we would visit a diner. That's what I'm doing here.
I feel like when America's portrayed, it's more like Southern America. It's like
it's
like
cowboy.
cowboy stuff. America's just too fucking big, dude.
Yeah.
It's time to break it up.
Oh my God.
It's time to break this shit up. It doesn't make any sense anymore.
I think it's so cool that it's together. It's amazing that this whole ship area is like.
I don't know if it's a good thing.
I mean, it's amazing though. It's like one market. If you're a stand-up here, you can travel
Yeah.
to.
Sure, I guess if you view the world strictly through the lens
What would
of
you?
what's
What
good for a
would
comedy
be?
career,
But think about
then it's a great
think about
entity.
left to their own devices, like certain places, if they were their own country.
Well, then you have negotiations. So you go, okay, you want some of the movies from the Hollywood liberals? Well,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah, that's true. So, and
we have trades.
They would just wouldn't
And
have
then
any,
they say
they
to
wouldn't
us,
have any money.
they say, do you want a hamburger? And we're like, yeah, we do. Okay. What about tell me about Norway.
To be fair though, everyone lives in America in a way. No, like the stereotype is cowboy. It's something old because Norway is like very America. If you come to Norway and gig, you are a star already. We're like, oh, American, great. You know? Yeah. All the foreign English-speaking comics do well in Norway. It's kind of cool, you know.
You guys,
I think. And whereas me, when I go to UK, people are like, that guy's a bit foreign. No, he looks. He speaks a bit. He's a bit strange.
Now in America, you like Daniel Simonson could go on stage and go hello, and it gets a laugh.
Yeah.
Is it like that in Europe, or do they go? We know Norwegian. You don't get that.
Yeah, a little bit. But Daniel is genuinely strange guy, though.
Is he? Well, that's what's tough to tell.
And he also has a special glint in his eye, no? A clown school glint in his eye.
But I think because he's the only Norwegian I knew originally, I go, well, that's all Norwegian.
Yeah, but I love being. I love in a way not doing comedy in Norway. Like on Britain's Got Talent, you asked if they were angry if I was a Norwegian. Like some people, I'm like, he's not even British, and then I usually comment on there, and I don't have any talent either. You know, because I think it's funny that the guy comes on, he doesn't really have any talent. We're just taking off clothes, maybe. And then I'm also foreign because they just had Brexit, you know, when they separated from Europe, and here comes a guy from a different country.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Rub it in the face.
But they have been very welcoming to me, you know, and I like being a bit strange. And I am a bit strange too, but there I sound strange as well.
Like in Norway, is that the common haircut?
This?
Yeah.
No. There's a clown hair, no?
No, it's a beautiful clown hair. It's fantastic clown hair.
Yeah. I recently got some big shoes as well.
Sure.
Because we're trying to be a bit more clown, you know? Because that's our upbringing. Because Zach was on the podcast, no?
Zach was on the podcast,
Yeah.
and Ali, and we talked all about what's his name? The French guy.
École Philippe Goulet. Or École School, so Philippe Goulet.
I want to get into a little more of the meat of tell me, like, how does he teach you? Like, what kind is he an angry teacher? Is he a relaxed teacher? What's his style?
He's ruthless.
Yeah.
He's like, bah. How do I say your name, by the way?
Gianmarco.
Gianmarco.
Yeah.
He'd be like, bah, Gianmarco. Bah. Like you would come on stage and then he would bang his drum and like, bah, Gianmarco. When you look at him, do you think, charming American, or you call North and South, hello, let's go to war, Gianmarco in the middle, you know? He would be like, just insult you constantly.
How did he insult you when you started? Because you were like fresh. You were not like a seasoned performer.
I was doing stand-up really badly. That's why I love stand-up still. Like I went to do stand-up at Netflix as a joke festival, like you were as well.
Yeah.
You did your sketch show there, yeah. And I saw Cat Williams. I was like, I love stand-up, but I cannot do it, you know. I'm also in a second language, like I can barely string a sentence together, so to have a punchline as well.
You're stringing great.
Yeah. Thank you. But what was I saying?
What did he say to you? Like, did he ever get mad at you? Did he ever?
Yes.
What happened?
But I went to this guy who studied there before, Dr. Brown, an American clown. And I was broken down a bit before I went to Goliath. So I thought I was funny, you know, I was funny guy, always had a joke. And then this guy was like, dude, look at the audience, dude, no one's laughing, Dr. Brown. So I was just, my ego just got crushed. I'm not going to tell this whole story because, I mean, if you're here because of me, then you heard this story before that I've sat in a field in Wales crying, you know, because all my dreams were broken, you know.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to be comedian so bad, and then I went to this clown workshop and told I was bad, you know?
So that's similar to theater school then, it feels like. It's like they're breaking you down.
They're breaking you down, but
they build you up again as well.
Yeah.
Clown school, they just break you down.
Wow.
Like when you go to Philippe and he's like, you're bad. And then maybe for me, it happened after 7 months. It's like, oh, I'm free. I don't care if I'm bad or not. And then, but you have to really accept that you're a piece of shit. Can I say that? I'm not in the UK.
Oh,
they had to apologize after the final on Britain's Got Talent to the two hosts. They were like, "Oh, we just want to apologize for something that happened today. They didn't mean it." And
because
I was like,
you said shit?
"Yeah, apparently I did."
We just talked about porn pretty explicitly.
Yeah. I'm a family-friendly guy, you know.
Sure.
But yes, anyway, he would just break you down until you accept you're a piece of shit. And then there's a unlimited freedom down there. But stand-ups experience this by bombing, though.
Did you ever have, though, that moment like you then went into class, you fucking broken down, and then you do something crazy in class, and he goes, ha, 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 ha.
Yeah, but he wouldn't go like that. He'd be like, bad, not bad.
Okay.
What was your moment? Do you remember? Like, what did you ever do? Do you bring in? You go, here's my piece for the day.
Yeah, every Friday we bring a piece, but for me it happened in an improvisation with where I fell in love with my partner, which is the reason why I'm in New York, by the way. I'm wearing this because it's a premiere tonight.
Oh,
yes?
what?
Yeah, my partner Julia Masley premieres off-Broadway run today.
The ha 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 ha?
Yeah.
Everyone's been telling me to see it.
Yeah,
I
dude,
really want to
it's
see it.
so good. We were just in Melbourne Comedy Festival. She was nominated for Best Comedy, and she insists it's not a comedy, but like it's. Yeah, you got to see it if you can.
That's the true
Masley.
clown who says it's a drama. Please stop. Please stop laughing.
Please stop laughing.
I know. And she's said it all along. And her show is called Ha 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 Ha. 7 halves. So yeah, anyway, I'm here because of that.
Very cool.
But you had a moment in class with her?
Yeah. This feels like being to therapy. You had the thought earlier and I get so distracted. I'm so sad, by the way, that you guys saw the Tuesday show, because the Monday show, I was doing vest all through the show. I did my bait. I was like all over the show. And then when you came, I was a bit late, and then we thought backstage, we were like, oh, would be funny if you continue to say that I'm late all the way to the end, and then I just come on and go off immediately.
Yeah. Well, that's what we thought it was a bit.
Yeah, it is a bit, but...
we thought for a second you would be one of the like purple figures or one of the figures that were completely covered up.
That would have been good.
Yeah.
If it just in the end, like, I was there the whole time. Yeah. But yeah, I found a moment in melodrama, this old theater style. Looking at you as if you're more actor, but you are also acting background.
Probably more, but yeah. I mean, no.
We
You
both
studied acting, no?
We both
I studied
studied
acting, but I feel it's like a distant past.
Yeah, because you're a comedian, so...
Yeah. It's hard to imagine being sincere.
That's how I feel as well. I'm really bad at acting, I think. So I was in this melodrama, which is supposed to be this old style theater where you play for the fifth gallery. You know, so you look up and you have to walk in a circle so that the people of Paris, the poor people, can see you, and you have to speak loud. Your shoes has to make noise, clack, 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 so that they can hear that the actor is coming. You know, he teaches like a dream of an old theater kind of.
Yeah.
But I was really, really bad, and so was my partner. But then he put us back to back and like, now play the nightmare of this theater style. Play like, just forget everything, do the worst stuff. And then we started back to back and felt like some support in the back, and we just went wild because there was no limitations or anything. And then usually he kick you off after 7 seconds, 20 seconds, 1 minute. If you're lucky, you have been on stage for 2 minutes that day. He's like, bam, you're off, it's finished. But then that day, we stayed on for 15 minutes. Because if you're good, you can stay, you know. And we were free, we were screaming, shouting, yeah, come here, And after I came off, and I was like, and everyone in the audience were also, because with Philippe, it's either you are fantastic or you are a shit on the street of Paris. There's no like, yeah, man, that was really good, LA, man.
Oh, so you were seeing him
I love your
give
sketch.
praise. So, like
He didn't give praise, but the audience were like this when I came off stage. The audience was like,
And then he hits the drum if he's done.
no, if you're good, you continue.
But then if you're not good,
Off. Yeah.
off.
But then you have done shows where you've crushed, no? And that, like, you don't need to talk about it. It's like the audience know, you know.
Yeah.
This was, we were floating on the laugh today. You know, you were surfing. It was just everything you did was funny. Every look was funny. You got to laugh, just scoffing, you know, everything was, it should be like that. When comedy is like that, it's like we are all in the audience, one family. We all laugh together, you know. It's not like, funny joke. It's like, you know.
And when you finish this program, is it Edinburgh or bust? Like, do you just got to get that Edinburgh show and it explodes? Or like, what is the career? What was the period before things started clicking in?
It's
You
not
and Zach
like,
were working together. By the way, Zach said you did not want to work with him in the beginning. Is that true?
Did he say that?
Yeah.
Oh, he said that you pretended that you did not hear him when he said we should work together.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's true. I remember the moment we were in the cafe, and then because we were kind of 3 people who had 3 shows, kind of, and then I had a group of people that I was going with, and Zach had some people. He was like, "We should do something good together," and I'm like, just like, yeah, it's like he was too American for me in the beginning.
was it? What does that mean to American?
I mean, in French clown school, it's like you need to come from underneath. You need to have humility. There was a guy who came in with sunglasses, a guy, and like, okay, we hate him immediately. You need to earn the love from the audience. Like a Broadway play doesn't start. Maybe it does. But you need to see the performer. You need to see their eyes, their soul, their heart a bit, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, I just pretended I didn't hear him because I was like, we're not the right fit. But then the people in my show pulled out. And then people in Zach's show pulled out.
We're a good fit. Yeah, let's check this out.
And then we were like, we were both desperate to perform. So we did it together. And what I love about Zach, that he never gives up. He wants to entertain the audience no matter what. And I have the similar energy. Like, if it's good for the show, if it's funny, I do anything, As you can see, Stamptown also is like, it's very in your face, kind of. Anything that's funny, we'll do. Throw ourselves, interrupt the performer, like all this crazy.
I want to see a low energy clown. Because like I get the energy aspect of it. I think that's the part of clowning where I'm like, when an audience is there, suddenly I can be filled with energy. I feed off that thing.
Yeah.
But are there some low energy ones?
Yeah. To be fair though, Stamptown is very high energy,
For sure.
the whole thing. And also my act is a bit high energy and like joyous. But for sure, Philippe, by the way, doesn't want you to go to the Fringe. He wants you to go to Sydney Opera House. He always said to us like,
no, it's not some shitty pub theater. No, it's Sydney Opera House. You drink champagne after the show. Hotel, 3-star? No, 5-star hotel. Gianmarco, you go to Portland, Oregon on the 22nd of June. You don't stay in a motel. No. You play 5th Gallery, 5-star hotel. You drink a bit. You say, tonight was special, Portland. Tonight was special.
He sells you the
Are there a lot of
dream.
clowns living that lifestyle?
Yeah, what the fuck?
It's that's amazing.
Did he live that
I
life?
love
Yeah,
imagining.
he lived that life.
Really?
Also, some of the vaudeville performers of the back in the day, the biggest performers were clowns.
I bet.
Even in America, you had Charlie Chaplin, Red Skelton in America, and you have the guy Little Titch, Grimaldi in UK. All this they were like the vaudeville performers, and he's always been around,
Is it?
And I play these crazy rooms now as well. It's just insane because I was doing 5 minutes open mics like 7 months ago.
What's hard about the bigger rooms? Like what do you have to figure out?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Yeah.
It's the same jam?
It's my situation is a bit special though because they already love me.
Yeah.
So for me it was like, they love me more than before. I had to come into London, all the cool comedians, and I have to be on a stand-up lineup, and I have to.
I'd love for you to come to the comedy clubs here and go to the cellar.
Yeah, I usually do the clubs.
Do it.
That's what I did in London. I just did stand-up clubs, and it's so
But
nice.
even in America, I think like the audience, I think you could do it.
Yeah.
But I think the audience for a significant period of time would be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
No,
is going
American
on?
audience are so open. They're like loud.
Where'd you do it? Not all of the American audiences. I can think of some closed ones.
Have you gigged in Scandinavia?
Not yet.
Don't do it.
Don't you?
That's closed audience.
Don't do it.
No, but it's very introverted audience. Like it takes time to dare to laugh. I think it's just a cultural thing.
Well, like in Italy, I did Milan, and when they really like a joke, they don't laugh; they just go and applaud.
Yeah.
And it ruins the music.
Yes.
They do it sometimes. I'm like, it's the middle of the joke, and then they bring up the lights a little to like almost to like let you know that everyone's applauding and it's a communal, and then they bring the lights back down.
Yeah.
So my lights were on the whole fucking show. I was like, please, bring them on.
Which is bad usually for the mood. It needs to be dark and.
Yeah, it's weird. It's
Yeah.
weird. I mean, and that's what I got to figure out as I go out there to be
Yeah.
like, tell them like, oh, this is how you do it.
In the clown world, what's the opinion of like a Cirque du Soleil? Like, is that cool to do? Is it selling out? Like, is it what? Like, I mean, and there's so many different shows, so I imagine it's different.
Yeah.
But like clowning with Cirque du Soleil, what's that? Like, how's that?
And now, to be
viewed?
fair, it's like if you asked us about SNL, we would not give the fully unvarnished answer we'd want to
True.
give.
Yeah.
But
yeah, you'd have to like, yeah.
But I guess you could say about SNL is like it's been there. It's an institution.
Yeah.
It's not what it was because TV is less, and then maybe all the sketches like they make them every. It's not where you go if you're on YouTube and want to see the best comedy. Maybe.
sure.
These are your words, not ours.
But if you get the chance to be on SNL and make it as funny as you can, you would do it.
Yes.
No.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure. I could see maybe in a couple years going, I've done with that dream. I don't know.
I think like SNL, isn't that the dream? Isn't that Sydney Opera House?
It was never the dream.
I guess
I got into comedy later. I mean, my dreams were to be a Daniel Day-Lewis.
But that is the Cirque du Soleil equivalent. Like Cirque du Soleil is the thing. It's like kind of like a institution
maybe for
that
some
is
people.
like, that is like
Clown is different though. Like Philippe insisted,
It's not a physical theater school, it's a theater school.
like it's a full-on theater school in his head. There's just a lot of comedians go there. But we did Shakespeare, we did Greek tragedy, melodrama. We did text, like Greek text. So a lot of people are actors and stuff. But we have some people who have gone to do Cirque du Soleil and stuff. I auditioned in Vegas just before COVID. And thank God. Because I thought Vegas would be so cool. But I heard from Zach as well that Vegas is, for a foreigner, Vegas is entertainment heaven. But
Vegas is one of the worst places I've ever been in my entire life. It was
I didn't
a
say it.
hellhole. It was
I've
a
only
shit hole.
ever been there for like 3-day chunks, and even in those 3-day chunks, I'm like, if I lived here, there's a steep sadness.
Everyone's
that
trying to fuck you out of
permeates.
everything.
Yeah.
It's like capitalism on cocaine. It's so awful. Every piece of art I saw there, it was like it had to be done in 60 minutes exactly. There was no room for creativity. Every piece of art had to appeal to, if you could not understand what language was being spoken, you would still get it.
Yeah.
And that's fine for some pieces. But when every piece of the world is done, it lacks specificity.
Yeah.
It's oh God.
Well, we'd love to go there.
I would love to see Carrot Top, And
I'd see Carrot Top.
because there's also another guy, a Tape Face. You know him?
A Tape Face. I do know Tape Face.
Yeah.
America's Got Talent.
Yeah, I mean, we know him from The Fringe, and he was just crushing The Fringe, like being really funny and original and creative. He'd like use stuff he found to make shows, and then he did the AGT, America's Got Talent, and then he's done a Vegas show forever, no? And his show is fantastically funny, but it's clown, so it appeals to everyone. He can be in Vegas, I guess.
Since you blew up, and I saw, I was looking through your TikTok, and you have fans who are kids.
Yeah.
Is it ever feel limiting, or you go, fuck, now my act has to appeal to people bringing their 4-year-olds there? In your world, is there room to be like, all right, this is the adult Viggo show
Yeah.
where I take more than the vest off?
Yeah, in a way, I always performed for adults. When people hear clown, they think I do kids stuff, and like,
Sure.
I'll do it,
Especially in
because
America. I mean,
Yeah,
America, clown
yeah.
is for
everywhere.
kids. Yeah.
Everywhere, it's a swear word to say clown. You're like, oh, you have balloons, and it's like, yeah,
That's honestly
Yeah.
why Cirque was so
Yeah.
explosive, I think, in America when it really was big, because
Yeah.
it was like, it's clowns for adults.
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
But there's some of the best theater actors. What is clown for me is when the audience laugh and there's pleasure. That you can see that the performer have the most fun. Like when an improv scene goes wrong, and you start cracking up, and someone does it again. Like when it peaks. For me, that's clown. When everything fails, kind of, and it creates this special energy.
Do you ever have sometimes I'll be on the road, something bad happened that day, or I'm in a shitty mood, or I don't feel good at all. And at least with stand-up, like, I can be energized sometimes, but if I need to take it back or like kind of do a different mode, but like, I'd love to see you do your full vest routine and you had you're fucking depressed. Yeah. And you just look miserable.
You know, I've like since I went on a big UK tour now, I've been like really tired and stuff. And, but it cheers me up though.
Sure.
Because like, put yourself in my situation for 1 second. Like, I've never played this size of room ever in my life.
Sure.
And then I come out and then here's 1,000 people and 800 of those people are wearing a vest. Like, what was the last time you saw 800 people in a Caroline's t-shirt? It's crazy.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know, like, and also this is such a, you're at home and you're like, should we put this on? I don't know. Will everyone do it? I don't know. It's such a visible thing. Like, I can't believe they actually came. It's not going to last, but for this year, it's been amazing.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's so easy to have joy. And to your point about kids though, like,
first of all, I'm glad you can say that. I'll never say that in my entire
No,
life. It's so
agree.
easy to have joy. I wish I felt that way.
Oh,
That's the difference between a clown and a stand-up comedian. It's so easy to have joy. That's good.
yeah, but just imagine for a second though that 800 people in Caroline's t-shirt and like hairy legs. They put extra hair.
That's my thing. They put extra hair on their legs.
I like that they're not wearing your merch. They're not wearing your merch. They're wearing Caroline's t-shirt.
And I'm like, wow.
Wow.
The joy.
Just
I
imagine
feel.
800 people with cum rags, cum towels that you sell, and they're all swaying them when you come out.
Yeah, but that's the bizarre though, because people.
What's your
draw-
version? 800 people understudying Josh Gad.
It's over my head, but I laugh. I like
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
It's a good roast. Josh Gad.
Josh Gad.
You are not Josh Gad.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Was it that in the musical you did?
Yeah, I was there. I was on.
You were, gotcha. But I found it so interesting. But all these kids, because they come with like drawn on beard and stuff, and that's wow, what is going on here? You know, that's just my face.
Yeah.
But the sad thing about clown is that it's not about anything. The good thing about clown is that kids like it, the grandma love it.
Yeah. When
But,
you say sad, you say sad. You
Because
that
I
it's
love
not-
stand-up that is about something. It's cool, I think, to be like explore.
You could, when your balloon pops, have a Palestinian flag fly out.
Oh my lord!
He's like, I'm touring internationally. Give me a fucking break here. It's very complicated.
No, but I think that would be my nightmare. I don't know enough about politics. Although, it's like peace is good, but
It's tough. It's tough to go around the whole world and like know all the politics. Like I know the politics like in relation to America.
Yeah.
But like I don't know where Norway stands on anything.
with America. God bless America. We would be Russian if it weren't for you guys. So thank you so much.
Tell me about Norway. I saw you say
I
something
left
about.
Norway, by the
left.
way.
I know.
went to clown school. I mean, I love Norway, but
Do you have pride?
yeah.
Because we don't. For Norway or
You don't
America.
have pride. You don't like the gays, or what? Come on, progressive America. But you mean Norwegian pride?
Yeah. Do you have Norwegian pride?
Yeah, I do. But Norway is special because we are the tiny one, and we were invaded by the Nazis. So when I wave a Norwegian flag, my partner Julia find that's a bit creepy. Like you would if you had a big American flag here, I would be like, okay.
Yeah, there's a weird thing with like have America. Like I feel like
You could celebrate 4th of July, but the flag on the wall is a bit too much.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like what's going on? Like I feel a bit.
yeah.
But Norway, the Norway Day was 17th of May, just recently when we record this, and everyone was with a flag. But we're celebrating being free and not German, kind of, and not Danish and not Swedish. We've always been owned by a different country.
What is that? Is there a day for that? The No Nazi Day?
No, yeah, it was like 17th of May. We celebrate the Swedes gave us I should know this, but Swedes gave us to Denmark or something. But on the transfer day, they quickly wrote the constitution. That was partly from the American and the French constitution. So thank you again.
Well, let me.
So we're celebrating freedom. And
I'm sure we had ulterior motives. American history is so steeped in. We are taught deep down. You live in the greatest country in the entire world.
Yeah.
And no, it's so, and you looking back at it, it's a real degree of like, oh my God, I can't believe like they taught that as if it were a fact.
Yeah.
And what is it like in Norway? In history, do they go, we're the greatest country in the whole world?
Yeah, we cling to what we are best at. Number one in suicide.
Is that true?
Yeah, most suicides in the world. Yeah.
Is that because it's legal? Is it, it's
no,
not
no,
legal
no, no.
there?
I think we're number 3. I think Finland is number 1.
Wow.
You have a lot of suicides there. It's a real thing?
Yeah, but it's also like ranking number 2 or something happiest country in the world, Norway.
Wow.
Free education.
Was it because
low
you're
unemployment.
knocking out all the people that are unhappy?
sad they're all
Everyone
killing
left is pretty good. Is that
But
true?
America is technically like you have all the money or every trade in the world is dollar, or it was at least until next year. I don't know.
It's gone away. It's done.
So America is yeah.
Why is it high in Norway? Why is suicide high if happiness is high?
I guess the metrics they're measuring to measure the happiness is like low in unemployment. Unemployment is
We
very low
measure
in
ours in
Norway.
inches.
We just
Let's
did
have a
bit.
moment of silence
That's
for
gonna,
that joke.
that's gonna play great for the listeners.
Joke appreciated. I love that though. Sometimes jokes pass and people talk over them. This joke,
Tell me about it. Tell me about it.
yeah, it's nice when a joke just gets to.
Do I do that to you?
No, you can definitely tell it a way of like, I can tell when I'm talking to like an improv person that does yes and that no matter, even if it's a bad joke, they'll build on it and they'll appreciate it.
Yeah.
I think we're more similar in a way where like if we don't find something funny, we do not know how to engage with it and we just keep going. And it's a real awful hanging off a cliff feeling and your friend walking by.
You know what that is though?
What?
That's clown.
That's clown.
But-
I agree. I think that's why
It has a term, the flop.
the flop.
Yeah.
Tell me.
You tell a joke, no one laugh, and then we laugh. Like now we laughed a lot, no? After
Yeah.
we're like, is that joke? Look around, nothing. And then you feel
I don't think that inch joke flopped. I think it was just.
Well,
so
let's
clever.
rewind here. It was the fun, but that's so interesting. Like in clown school, they talk about the flop. You know, what is a clown? Is an idiot who has a shitty joke and he loves to tell it. He tell it, no one laugh, and then they laugh of him telling the joke. Like Britain's. Do you think it's funny taking off many pieces of clothing? No.
It's the absurdity of the continuation of it is that's
It's funny.
Yeah, or like that the fact that the guy thought that was funny
Sure.
is a bit stupid. No, I find that bit like what watching it's not funny until it goes too far almost. Oh no,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
more kind of like it's kind of flopping. My audition set is like it's not working.
Yeah.
Simon Cowell exits it. This is bad.
That's what's
right?
amazing is that it didn't get all the way. Like that it could have in
Yeah.
a different universe they could have been out. But
Yeah.
because only one, I mean, it was very cool to watch.
But you
Yeah.
know what? I didn't expect to go far, but I was prepared for being X'd out. That's why I wore a red high-vis under. Because I was like, my act starts after I get X'd out. That's when I'm gonna do the red one, like pretend I'm sad, and then just as I walk out, I'm going, right, one
Yeah.
more time, you know, and then
Yeah.
that is gonna be so funny. So I was almost kind of, they burned it too fast.
Did you
Because
ever
he
have?
asked me, is there any more? I'm like, yes, I have 3 left, but I'm going to do that after my performance is finished, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about the origin of this idea? Like the
Describe the act, because for people who haven't seen, we'll put a link to all this stuff.
yeah. I mean, we'll put a link to the thing. I mean, you. I mean, let's have him describe it. But
Also, now it took it back to my act. We were talking about the joke that flopped. I just had to say that I find that so funny when the joke flops.
Yeah.
That's when the real...
Yeah.
Have you ever had a bit or a chunk that truly?
I've never had the
flopped?
chunks, by the way.
Sure.
Yeah. No, but I only have short jokes.
Have you ever had an idea like the vest thing, which for people it's the neon, like for working on a construction site, essentially.
Yeah.
And have you ever had an idea like that where you bought all the props, you really, and it did not, even doing it again and again and again and again, just didn't fucking click.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best. like I remember me and Zach, we did the double act just after clown school, no? And then we made this big basketball board, you know, backboard, yeah. And we put our face in it. And we were like, this is genius, you know? And then Zach would be like on stage and he would pretend to say like, oh yeah, I scored or something like that. And then I would come out in the backboard or something. And then I was like, this is gonna murder. It's gonna be so funny. And I remember this was, yeah. Anyway, I just opened the curtain and then nothing. But then Zach then shitting on me for 5 minutes after that was the best.
Yeah.
So he's like, you do get paid in a way. We're like, yeah. Oh. And then, And then Zach was like, well, first he tried to, oh, you look silly. No laughter. But then once he starts to diss you for not getting a laugh almost, that becomes the best thing ever. You know? And then I stayed with that. Yeah.
That's the limitation of sketch compared to other things, is that when it bombs, you don't have that fun. You don't have that fun thing. You move on to the next sketch.
We're more regimented though. Like we could.
That's true.
We could. I had that sketch with the fake dildo.
Yeah.
I could have,
Yeah.
if I were a different person. I had a sketch and
A lot of your stuff involved the penis.
I know it's a recent thing. It's a recent,
thing.
And it was the idea of someone who uses it as a fidget spinner. That's their anxiety thing. And so the last beat did particularly just bad. And it was a runner.
Yeah.
And the third beat was I'm at my father's funeral. And I felt like I emotionally, like, I went back to my acting days and like really, I visualized holding my father's dying hand.
Oh my God.
And I felt his touch.
Yeah.
And then I went out there, my eyes a little bit red. I could feel it. I try not to think about it, but you do. And then I start the speech and I go, I'm sorry, I'm a little anxious. And I reach into my suit pocket and I pulled it out. To silence. And if I had conjured the spirit of the clown, I'd just keep going.
Yeah.
And I'd make it bigger.
Yeah.
And I'd go out and I'd start
No,
smacking the audience with it.
No. Opposite. Bad. Off. Stop.
I'd stop
Yeah?
and just say the rest of my
No.
eulogy.
It has to be funny. No, I think many people misunderstand that, like, if you don't get a laugh, you just repeat it, do it many times. Like, no. The first, if you do something funny, then you can do it again. Like, if the first vest doesn't get a laugh, do not do it again, in a way. That's about...
Is that what you had done? If you were on stage, you do one vest, no laugh, you go, all right, back to the stand-up.
But although the first vest never did not get a laugh, except in a corporate gig once. And then that went truly awful.
Tell me.
But like, I used the vest.
Wait, tell me about that gig. What happened?
They didn't laugh at the vest, and then I thought,
That first laugh.
Then that goes, these layers I have under are gone. Now next bit, kind of.
You moved on to the next bit?
Yeah.
You just kept the show going with 20 shirts on?
Yeah, but I did the one vest in the end though. But no, I think I went out in the audience because they were not responsive. They didn't know each other. It was a conference room. There was a lot of space between the tables. It was morning. It was 9 a.m. Big round tables with like 10 meters around the table. So then I went to a table and did all the vest there. And then that table laughed, but that was pathetic.
Oh,
it was so hard, brutal.
that when that first laugh is not there. That's what I was gonna say though about the LA thing. Like when we just did our show in LA, we closed with the sketch that's always killed.
Yeah,
always killed.
Yeah.
We killed on the Monday before here in New York, and it gets to this moment where you really got to commit vocally, physically, and I did it, and it normally kills, and it's the very first time, and if they don't laugh at that, the whole rest of the sketch is just more of that. And they didn't laugh in LA, and I was like, fuck me.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with sketch. You're like, oh, then I'm gonna have to keep doing it. And you're like, and it was not.
If you had stopped though, right after that first one,
If I had stopped,
and we closed the sketch, you
Said-
move the chair. His shoulders are dislocated, and he's a waiter. And you move that first chair. You go, ah!
and then
That's our show,
that's
everybody.
our show, everyone. Thank you so much for coming out. That's where we purposely wanted to end the show tonight. Thank you. Yeah, it just is that. Oh God, I hate such an awful feeling.
It was awful. And then, but it's those situations where I think it's worse to wimp out. You just
Yeah.
got to go harder for it.
Yeah.
But that's what happened with my sketch, where
Yeah.
my sketch was allowed. It was like the wrong space for big.
That
Some people
space-
were expecting
that
to see
space was
stand up
The
and
wrong
like
space for big, like kind of like loud. Yeah.
We just have backup. We should have a vest underneath our shirt last week. Yeah. That's our version of that.
That's how I used the vest when I was in London. I wanted to do stand-up, and I use it as a save. I would try my material, and I'm not funny verbally, so that would flop, and then I'd save it with the vest. That's how I used it.
Really?
Yep. And then they saw the act when I did a gong show in Comedy Store, and I thought it would be funny to not tell a joke. So it wasn't really my act. I used it as a save, kind of. Like, but how much interesting when you took out that thing and that flops, like telling us now, that's hilarious, no? And stand-up do that a lot, no? If a joke flops, you could say like, oh, never say that again, or like when you test material.
I think,
and that's always the funniest stuff. No?
It works. I think like,
but I guess you don't want to use that all the time.
No, the problem is like there's versions of it. There comes a point where it becomes like you're just constantly excusing yourself. Yeah. Whereas like Norm Macdonald is, I think, pretty admired. Where like if he thought a joke was really good, or he just thought everyone was uncomfortable, he'd sit there and he'd say, "I said it, and we'll move on." But like I'm not going to pretend to not say it. It's just stand-up. It's just such freedom to really be able to pivot. Yeah. You don't want to be the comic that's constantly going like, well, that didn't do well.
Yeah, because then it's like you're putting yourself down. Yeah. But Norm would kind of like stare at you.
I think you just have to acknowledge the elephant that's in the room.
Acknowledge the flop.
The better that you can articulate the flop. Yeah. If you can go like, whoa, you guys are feeling this. Yeah. It can be fun. Yeah. Though I never forget, our friend Chris said he saw an open micer once who in the middle of a set that was bombing said, do you want to see my impression of a comedian turning it around halfway through his set? Yeah. And I thought like, that is such
I think about that all the time. That's
line.
so funny.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Say it again. What was it?
He's bombing. He's like, okay, do you guys want to see my impression of a comedian turning it all around halfway through his set? And I'm like, God, that's so funny.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And like, he probably never did that again. Whereas that got a huge laugh on the night, but you have to bomb properly before for that to be funny. And that's how I would think with the vest as well. It's like it has to like the first one needs to get a laugh, but then it has to kind of not work a little bit. Or I need to get an X, or I need to pretend to leave.
Reminds me, Tig Notaro had a bit that she did on Conan O'Brien late night, which on TV this bit is incredible. Where she talked about how something is funny and then it can stop being funny, but if you keep doing it, it gets funny again. And she pushes this chair, this like stool on the stage, and the squeaking of it. Yes. And like it gets a laugh, and then like people get bored, and then she keeps going and it gets a laugh again. And it really is like she's just showing you almost like an equation of comedy in front of you. Yeah. And so it's so committed with no embarrassment, no worried about it, and it's amazing.
Oh, thank you.
It's amazing that she did it on TV. And it's just like a principle, I think, of clowning too, where
we should all Google that, by the way. Us watching, me, like I need to see this. I love Tig Notaro, and so this bit I would like to.
Oh, it's fucking brilliant.
Because she also listens, no? She's like, and then she could say if she doesn't get a laugh, oh, I didn't do it correctly or something, and then laugh, and they're like, oh, there it is. Yeah.
Alt comedy, at least for some point, in American stand-up comedy was borderline clowning. There's an intersection there.
Andy Kaufman, Jimmy, what's his name? Jimmy Carr? No, but what's this guy? The Mask. What's his name?
Oh, Jim Carrey.
Yeah. He did stand-up.
Of all the, if you were to do one physical thing.
I get it now.
He did his stand-up back in the day, was this. No?
Yeah.
And he would fall on the ground.
I would think about the talking with the ass for Jim Carrey.
Sure, you get up all the way.
Yeah.
It's like...
May I ask you a question?
I thought you were going to come and...
Is the camera okay?
Yeah, it's fine. You knocked it.
Great. Say more stuff like that though in American stand-up history that like that clip for example.
I just think.
And that guy who said like, do you want to see? Here's an impression of a comedian who turns it around. That's like that's material, man. That's so brilliant.
For sure. I think like I've always said that. I think when UCB, I feel like when it was created. The Jim Carreys of the world, if they were around when UCB was around, they would have gone to UCB. Yeah. And so there was a real divide created. And I think there were some stand-up comics who looked down on clowning. Or they go, where's the joke? Yeah. And part of it is just like the worlds we have to occupy where we have to travel to some place that is not into clowning. Many parts of the South, for example. And they just need a hard joke.
What? They are into clowning in the South.
They are in certain places.
Yeah,
but I'm saying there's certain environments that like they just need something more. I just see why comics became bitter.
Dude,
It's easy for a comic to become bitter to go, wait a second, I worked the craft of this joke. You took off your shirt 10 times.
Yeah.
It's easy to become that,
Yeah,
especially when the worlds are separated.
Yeah.
And then there becomes a lack of respect on both ends.
Yeah.
I wanted to, like, I want my show, I want to figure out a way to get more clowning in, but the audience has to get used to it. I want Russell to do characters on my show, but I understand why he's hesitant because as our show went in LA, some people go, what is this?
Like the
I'm not willing to be
they're
silly.
expecting something else, and it sometimes is hard to like. Yeah, and
It's like I'll see an audience where like Martin Urbano, who's so funny, and if you love comedy, like no one who loves comedy doesn't love Martin Urbano.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I've also seen like audiences now and then
They don't.
who don't get it,
Yeah.
and they're going like, what? And like I could see my mom seeing it and not just clicking into.
But they think
what's
he's
going
real,
on.
no? A lot
Sure.
of people
Yeah.
who don't like me
Yeah.
online, they think I'm an idiot. Well, I am in a way, but I'm also pretending to be an idiot. a bit.
Sure.
But I am also an idiot, though. Like, my life is fucked up. Like,
Yeah.
I struggle. But Martin Urbano is a great example because I saw him in Edinburgh, and it's like some people are like sitting a little bit like, what? How much is this guy aware? But then as a comedian, you're like, you can hear through his jokes that he's playing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. What time is it? We're about like an hour 10. Oh, let me see. Okay, great. Okay, let's go on to our This Has Gotta Stop.
This has got to stop.
Wow. You listened to Zach's episode? Very good.
I lucked out.
Most research anyone's ever done for this entire show. It's incredible. All right. This has got to stop. This is a place where we say something that needs to go away. Get the fuck out of here. Big, small, personal, large. I'll go first.
okay.
This has got to stop. If you're posting online or sending an email, if I see a picture of an old person before any context, my brain goes, they just died. That's where it goes. I got an email from my middle school, and it was I got an email from my high school, and it was a picture of a professor who taught a Shakespeare class. Really loved it in high school. Of course, theater kid. And I saw that picture, and I said, fuck, that sucks. He's dead. And then it was like, we're so excited to announce the retirement of so-and-so, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, how fucking dare you?
Yeah.
It's a big picture of his face.
Yeah.
And they haven't figured this out with Twitter. Things trend on Twitter all the time. And just like, you go, so-and-so is trending. I remember there was one time Harvey Weinstein was trending. You were terrified he had died.
Shut up.
And we need to figure out a way with the way that we announce things to make clear right out the gate, either put a happy face next to it, put something on top, put alive. Harvey Weinstein. Alive. But you could just see, I just felt this moment of sadness.
Yeah.
And then he was alive and he's fine.
Good.
But you were disappointed when you. He's not dead.
Sure, I was just mad that they made me feel that rush of like, I'll never talk to him again, and we'll never have any communication. It doesn't matter at all.
You were slightly disappointed he was alive, in a way.
I wanted to write them.
Yeah.
So you almost
You
made
get
me,
emails
you almost made me
from
feel
your high
sad for a
school?
second. Yeah, they're asking for the money. They don't ask you for money. My middle school still asks me for money.
My public school does not ask me for money. I went to public school.
Oh, sorry. Well, guess what? I'm paying for that public school. So
Oh God. Yeah. Okay.
no, I don't think I'll ever give money to
Anything.
any of my schools.
Oh, that's my dream. In Norway, school is free though, but it's my dream to create a not scholarship, but a fund for people who fail at school, at uni.
Oh.
Yeah,
That's
that's my
nice.
dream. To put up like you can apply. Because I did university, but I found comedy by mistake through like a student organization online. I would love to set up a thing for failing students.
That's nice.
Something like that would be cool, no?
Yeah.
This is why that's why Norway's happy. Free schools.
Yeah,
wanna-
it's not free though. Pay tax, so
Yeah. The same as we
pay
have public
tax.
schools here too.
in a way you. But
You went to a private high school.
I
you
didn't
fucking-
pick it, by the way.
I'm just
I
saying,
didn't
like
pick
we
it.
have that system here
I didn't
too.
pick it. I wish I could go back in time and say, no, mama.
You're acting
no,
like
father.
they're doing something that we're not doing.
I know, yeah, but also they ask you, they're like, come, pay. Hey, this guy's retiring. Give us some money, you know?
Yeah.
But Norway, just take it.
I prefer that. Raise the taxes. You have free healthcare in Norway?
Yeah, but it's not free. We pay tax, though.
Yeah, we've been taxed too, but we don't get it.
Yeah.
Norway's better. Norway's better.
You just you shoot other countries, no?
Yeah. That's what we
how
do.
get
Yeah.
our money.
No healthcare and no Iraq. Woohoo! You know what? Yeah.
How do you really view America? Tell me.
America, love it.
You look like you have a gun to your head. America, love it.
Love it. God bless.
Well, I hope you win America's Got Talent too.
You know what the guy told me, or he was like, "You're that guy. You won America's Got Talent Europe." I thought that was such.
America's Got Talent. Yeah.
That's incredible. That's a lot.
I thought that was so beautiful because he's like, it's definitely America's Got Talent, but it was the European version. So it's America. They called it America's Got Talent Europe.
Oh my God.
That's beautiful.
Tell me one shitty thing about Norway. Tell me one critique you have
Boring.
of Norway.
So boring. Extremely boring. Oh, they don't laugh so much. Audience is boring.
Do a lot of clowns come out of Norway? 'Cause
No.
sometimes I feel like boring places can sometimes you go crazy there and you snap.
Yeah. Yeah, but a lot of people just we
Just
are very
boring, no
conform.
culture?
No, music. But the comedy scene is better now, but it was really awful, boring. Like stand up is American comedians, and British humor is like it's ridiculous, it's clever, and also American stand-ups there. A lot of silliness there as well.
Yeah.
Like Bill Burr, okay, he talks about this, but it's also silly. Like Chappelle is also silly sometimes.
Yeah.
He's fucking with the audience, even when he talks about something serious, no?
Yeah.
I think it's comedy is so good in the UK and the US.
Yeah. I love when transphobia is silly.
If it's silly.
Diva, this gotta stop.
You love Harvey?
No, he likes to try to get me in trouble. This guy stop. This guy stop. We're in that window every year. Every year, New York City goes through this when it gets to be spring, creeping up to summer, where there's a 2-week period where no one knows how to air condition anything. Right? Like it gets like we're on the subways and you get on a train and you're like, okay, I know it's not hot yet, but we need some more air circulation here. What are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing? I don't know how we don't know how to do it. And I was at a coffee shop the other day. It was 85 degrees in that coffee shop. I'm like, guys, I know you have air conditioners. Turn them on. I know you're not quite ready for it yet. It's a little early. And we don't have to go full blast. We don't have to go crazy. Just a little air circulation where it's because it's muggy, but it's like the temperature's not there yet. And so it's like muggy though. Mm-hmm. And you're like, there's no reason for me to be hot right now. Like if I'm outside, it's fine. But I go in the subway or I go in a restaurant and it's just a little too hot. Turn the air conditioning on. Just get it going.
There is a reason why you're hot though. It's because it's hot outside, no?
Yes, but
like-
it's because it's muggy and we're at like 72 or 73.
There's a transition period.
There's a transition period, and they just wait too long, and it's like when it gets to be 85, you go inside and it's freezing in places, and they've done it. But I'm like, what is going on? Just like turn it on a little bit for like I don't understand how it works.
There was one time though when it was scorching hot in New York, and sometimes one train will have no AC.
Yeah.
And I did go on that train because it was so fun to watch every person walk in that train and they go, oh my God, it was such a fun. I wanted to make a video montage of everyone's reaction.
Yeah.
That or a really bad smell on a train. Sometimes if you are willing to sit on that train, it's very funny to watch people, everyone have the reaction.
Would be funny if you came into and it's the first guy who says it, they turn it on immediately.
Yeah.
You're like, you come in and like, hey, and then
That's the downside guy.
Yeah.
yeah, here we go. Here comes Russell.
Do you ever this gotta stop?
I don't. I feel free to join in on this though, but I have a thing that like it's not like I'm not annoyed at anything really. I don't know if you know, but I'm pretty happy. But I think one thing that has to stop is incompetence. I noticed by myself. Like I was gonna. Here you have pictures on the wall. I was gonna put up a picture before I went on tour, and I just chickened out. I was like, there's some, I don't know about this. So, and then I was scared, that. And
You're scared about getting in trouble for putting a nail.
yeah,
in
it
the
could
wall?
be a water pipe, and also
Water pipe.
maybe
I get
this.
scared of electrocution.
Yeah, do I need
too.
to drill a hole and then do this? I mean, I know that this is. I talked to a guy. He's like, we know this inherently. You stick a thing in and you put it on. You know, it's intuitive, but we are too scared in this.
I wish I could
think
tell
our
you
generation.
that I did this myself and didn't hire a TaskRabbit to do all of it for me.
I guess that's it. Yeah, but that should change. We should.
We should be nailing things more.
Yep.
You've ever nailed a thing?
No. I'm saying all of us.
So we are all,
the three of us are not people who would hang a picture frame. You know.
Yeah.
We should.
Those guys are actually wearing neon vests, building shit outside.
Yeah. That's it. Maybe I'm just envious of builders, kind of.
Sure.
They do the. Yay! I want to be like that guy.
So let's go on to our final segment.
You better count your blessings.
You better count your blessings. Russell, do you have a blessing?
Yeah, I have to pull up something though. So you do yours first. I have to pull up my audio. Oh wait, I found it. I think.
Great.
Hold on.
Ooh, audio.
Maybe I didn't. Oh, I did. Okay. Hold on. So this is very sweet. Our friend Jessica. Friday it was just her birthday.
Oh.
But she's been doing a show. So now that I'm not in a show, I've been having a little more free time. So I was helping out a babysit her daughter Margot the last couple of weeks here and there. And it's been so, and I I've met Margot a bunch of times and we were around when she was born and she's going to be 4 soon. But she's so sweet and it's been very cool to get to play like uncle to my friend's kid. And the other day it brought me so much joy. I was babysitting and I was recording because she was I had told her to go to bed and she kept occasionally talking from the other room to me. And I caught this on video because I was going to send it to Jessica. And but it was just so sweet. She called me Uncle Russell in a really sweet way. And here it is. Oh my God. Hold on.
You can send these to Krista.
No, I can't. Okay, here we go.
August, September 5th. Oh, wait, Uncle Lazo, I gotta tell you something.
So cute.
It's so
That's
sweet.
amazing.
It's so sweet. Anyways, that's been very cool.
Can I tag on to that?
Yeah.
Something. My good old clown teacher, Philippe Goulier, used to use that as a metaphor. Exactly that. What does a clown do? He's like a child who has been told, Russell, or what's it, Margot, her name?
Margot, yeah.
He's like, Margot, you have to go to bed. It's 8 p.m., you have to go. And she goes, and then she's like, oh, Uncle Russell, I need to tell you something.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, do you tell? And then you go to bed. And then a second later, you sit around the table and then she's there with a wig on,
Yeah.
Always want to entertain so I can stay up a little bit more. And if the adults laugh, okay, 5 minutes,
Definitely, yeah.
It's with that spirit of okay, Uncle Russell, you know?
Yeah.
It's such a
Show
good
her
spirit.
Viggo's stuff next time you're there.
I will.
Yeah.
She'd love that.
She would Uncle Russell. She would never go to bed.
My blessing, and I don't think we could read any of them. It's Russell's mom's
Oh no, we can't.
reviews
Don't-
of SNL are so I had no idea, but Russell's mom watches SNL and
regularly.
texts little reviews to Russell, and I don't think she understands the career consequences of her reviews. So they're very free. They're very free from the industry chains that bind
I will
us.
say one frustrating thing about it is because I'm on a sketch comedy group. And she calls them skits, and I'm like, okay, well, you've been watching SNL the entirety of its run here and there, and you're still calling them skits. There's something very funny
I think it's time to give up.
on skits. Yeah,
I think it's time to get up. They're never going to call it sketches.
They're gonna, and also
my dad's
like
going to call stand-up skits. It's all skits.
Yeah,
Skits.
you're right. Yeah,
Whatever.
why do
I don't know
we-
what
why
he
do we
does for a
care?
living.
Why is sketch that much of a better word?
I don't know what any
than
of they
skit.
do for their jobs, so I can't expect them to know my lingo.
Yeah, that's true.
Typing on your computer,
Yeah,
Clown. They could call it as a clown.
teaching
How's your
children
clown
to
group?
read, mom.
Yeah. And are we gonna hear him?
Yeah.
A
Oh
review?
no, we can't.
No, we can't. No,
They're too positive, and it feels like it's just an ad for SNL.
Yeah.
Do you have a blessing?
Yeah. I just really want to hear your mom slaughter SNL.
We'll read them. We'll read them
after.
this, yeah.
Good. My blessing. Yes, I was. It's a bit real, but that's all allowed at the end of the podcast.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about my grandfather because I was in Melbourne Comedy Festival before this, and my grandfather passed away. And I thought like, oh yeah, that's sad, but he was old. So then I felt like, oh, it's a blessing. I saw him before he went like twice, and I don't see him that often. But then we were putting wood, and he was so old, but he was like insisting putting wood for the winter. It's like this old man putting so much wood. And I was just thought that was it was a blessing that I got that moment chopping wood with my granddad.
Yeah,
it's a Norwegian thing as well.
Yeah.
Wood on the
Did you go back to the funeral?
No, I couldn't. I was here. It's.
Would you ever give a eulogy and at the very end rip off and have 10 vests underneath?
Imagine.
One day you got to do that for.
I hope
for a
someone
loved one's
does that in
funeral.
my funeral.
That would be really great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
It would be great if I had one now at the end of the podcast.
I mean, there's still time.
There's still time. This is end, no?
If you should have it at all times.
I should. I really should.
This
This has been so, yeah.
Where can people find you, Viggo?
ViggoVenn.com. And hopefully I'll come to the States again.
Did you do a New York show?
No, just
Why?
my partner. I'm writing something at the moment, but I would love to do a show here. I did just the stand towns, but I haven't done my show yet. I'm still on tour in the UK, and I'm doing Norway, and then I would love to come back because I can be here now.
So visit his website. We have international listeners, but you'll be back. And
I'll be back in New York.
Plug your girlfriend, girlfriend show.
Julia Masley, ha 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 ha. It doesn't need any plugging. It's sold out in London. It's added run in London. It's sold out in Australia, and now it's in New York, and it's already
Where's it at?
full. It's at Soho Playhouse.
Soho Playhouse.
Yeah,
Great.
and I think she's gonna come back as well because if you have the chance, you have to see it.
Amazing.
Great.
And ViggoVenn.com if you see some tickets in America or all around Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah, Viggo Venn on Instagram maybe.
Sure.
Yeah.
All of the things.
Yeah.
And we'll put the link. We'll put the link to your performances. And Russell, anything to plug?
Oh my God, no. My
But maybe one day.
maybe one day. Nothing right now. On May 20th, 2024.
Plug our next Downside
but-
Live.
Oh yeah, when is it? Wait, but follow me on Instagram at Russell J Daniels, and then also when is our next? Wait, let me pull it up. I'll pull it up.
Oh, good. Okay, I'll start plugging some stuff. We didn't
Portland.
mention it earlier. Oh, yeah, Portland. It was a good memory. You remembered the day, too. Join the Patreon. Patreon.com/downside. Let me do just a quick little pitch. We recorded like 2 amazing live episodes at the Comedy Store with Moshe Kasher and here with Kareem Rama. And it's only on the Patreon. Russell and I are about to do next week just us just talking. Patreon. We answer your questions. You get I have a comedy special on there called The Rats Are in Me. It's great. Join the Patreon. It's great. And when you come up after the show, tell me you're a Patreon member, and usually I can slip you a free sticker for the downside. We are announcing a tour. We probably will have announced it by the time this episode comes out. But Russell and I are going to DC, Boston, Philly, and then we're doing one here in New York at City Winery. So be on the lookout. Tell your friends. All that's going to go on the Patreon.
Yes.
But we're building. People
then-
want us to go. So we got to get this tour to sell out. And
Live
then soon we
podcast?
can. Live podcast, yeah.
And then New York City, July 1st, Monday, July 1st, we will be doing a Downside Live here in New York City. So
They're
go
great.
check it out.
And then last thing, I'll be Fort Collins this weekend at the Comedy Fort. And then the weekend after that, Portland. My mom will be at the first show if you want to say hi to her.
And that's why I remember that show, because I fuck your mom a lot.
Whoa!
This is... This is the downside.
You're listening to The Downside
The Downside.
with Gianmarco Soresi.